What's happening, YouTube? Shalom. And we're going to go for a little old walk. Trying to get back into the routine. Got back into a little light workout. Healthy stuff. That's neither here or there. Another free-flowing thought, but one that was inspired by other YouTubers that are doomers, basically, within my age group and younger. So half my age, damn near almost, because I'm not 40 yet. And close to my age, the millennials. And with that being said, the topic, which I'm going to have to phrase it right for the title, but life is the most sensual bitch, albeit an ugly one. Truth is ugly, but it's the thing and the only thing that'll set you free. Oh, by the way, I probably, with this walk, as usual, you can see through my videos, I'll get interrupted and there'll be always some weird shit. But I say that because every time I say it, it's like it lessens the chance of it happening or being prolonged. Like letting a video game load back in the day, and if you pay no mind to it, it loads faster. It's weird. But anywho, back to the whole life portion. Life is and I'm not one of those religious people that are like a monk that doesn't have sex in a temple, but for some reason you'll find these guys raping boys, or some other weird ass religious group that if you look deeper, they're worse than the demons that we pray against. So I'm gonna use references that people within my age group or just generally in my gender can relate to. Like life is like a woman that gives you that super head dome, but she looks like a gnome in a fucking bell tower that rings the bell and is hidden away from society. And obviously it is, because everybody hates truth. Damn near almost everybody, majority. Like, just like this channel isn't for everybody, truth isn't for everybody. And that being said, you have to look at it from the standpoint of like, man, like I look at all these YouTubers in real life, they're saying the same thing. Like people complain, friends that I'm realizing on a spiritual, energetic field area, I have to cut off. Like people are like, oh man, you're by yourself and you're lonely, you're introvert but your life has sucked the same way it sucked since I first met you. And that was years ago when we first started trucking. You got into trucking to make your life better, and you haven't done that. You're like, well, I got these trinkets. Your life sucks. You're depressed. You tried to put depression on me in a very slick manner, and I didn't take it. Like, your life fucking sucks. And anybody like you, obviously, generalizing does keep us alive. So anyone like you, more than likely, their life sucks, and you're willing to take me down with you. This is not to focus on anybody else. This is just to make that point that if that same person, whether they like me or not, even though we're quote-unquote friends, but if that's what friendship is, I'll take loneliness. But if that same person took into their own initiative to like, hey, let me analyze what's really going on. Like, no matter where I go, there's a system of things that operate in a manner that is not being told to us, common folk, regardless of color. He's a melanated brother too. But regardless of color, there's operations that aren't being revealed to us. And this is where I was inspired by the other YouTubers. One was a Marine. He's like probably in his mid-20s. He said he was willingly become homeless. Like he's the halfway smart one. Like first you go, there's stages to realizing it. If you watch the movie The Matrix, which I'm often always reference, which was written by a black woman and was stolen by two gay white men that are brothers that chopped off their wieners and then brought to mainstream. But the message had to get out one way or another. the premise of the story and that was turned into a movie is you will go through, as my red pill community would say, you will go through red pill rage, and there's like phases to it. You'll go through grief, depression, loneliness, isolation, realization. The Bible covers all of this, obviously, but this is more entertaining because, you know, we've turned into like a goldfish attention span kind of society. So we have to glamorize everything just to save our own lives. But the Marine, he figured out that he's like, you know, I need to survive, and I've sold my soul to do survival things only. And I joined the Marines because ego. I could have joined anything, but I joined the Marines because of ego and survival. And I was going to use the Marines to fucking pay for my college because I don't want to be in debt. Because survival. And I didn't watch the video any longer because I could see where his mentality was going. He has the right idea. Because obviously he said he chose to be homeless, and he wasn't homeless looking. So that means he's a nomadic. Which, again, I'm nomadic. I have a place, but I'm a trucker. Truckers by nature are nomadic, except for unless you're about to be local, which I'm not going to talk on that. But he's nomadic without having that. He was also a trucker in the Marines. And it's like, this is where it hurt my brain. And this is how it shows that people hate knowledge, hate wisdom, hate truth. You only have to do a few more things to become a local trucker. You can be a local trucker, you can be a OTR trucker, but you choose to be homeless and not use your brain. Truckers make, like, if you get the right certifications, which you're already halfway there, you can make whatever people make in college or more. And that's if you want to stay stuck on the fucking road. That's also, you have to really think things through. You can make a lot of stuff shake. But he's like, you know what? I'm just working. And he was right on this point. I'm just working to buy items to impress people. That's a Flight Club thing that I also promote and will mention a lot. Just to impress people I don't like, don't give a fuck about, and don't give a fuck about me. And I'm like, okay, he's got it, but he stopped. He stopped asking questions. He's not realizing that life is a whore when it's ruled over by society. It'll fuck anybody, but it'll fuck anybody over too. So if you figure out the game, you figure out a lot of people are whores for the system. You figured out a lot of people are just fair weather friends, loosely given, even in family, then why not just, and I'm not saying become the one that people, I'm gonna despise from a distance now, the rich and the powerful, but you'll have the power to be more graceful than ones up top. You have the power to educate and lift up. You have the power to, like, while you're saving money, since you're being nomadic, you have the power to generate things for yourself and move yourself into a different situation. But homeboy is still probably probably reaching 25. So his frontal lobe is still not completely developed, and he probably needs just a pinch more suffering. It's a tad bit more for his brain to activate and like, oh yeah, okay. It's a false, sophisticated civilization, and we're just imbuing warfare with extra steps. And it's even on a spiritual level. But I'll keep on watching this shit. Now the other one, and I just heard him today, he was talking about how jobs where you work hard and it doesn't pay off, and it's like, yeah, that's the point. That's the point. Was it Rockefeller? I think it's Rockefeller. He created the school system to where they just make workers smart enough to do the job and ice road, and dumb enough to stay where they're at for eternity. And he said that openly. You know why you can say things openly? You know why pimps can say the things that pimps say? Because hoes aren't intelligent enough. Most women that are enticed by people with those mannerisms, regardless if they call themselves a pimp or not, those women are not up to the power level It's not IQ. We're not trying to be offensive. Like, IQ is another form of power. There's many forms of power. IQ, EQ, a combination of both. Financial power, actual physical strength, influence, spiritual power. There's so many different levels. And then like an algorithm that infuses all of them, all to different levels, that equates to power and favor. So at the end of the day, they can't match the power, so they just go with it, basically. They have no power to override it. Like, so this same thing that happens between the relationship between pimps and whores, it's, and pimps will say, hey, society's just a bunch of game of pimps and whores. It's the same thing, and I know, I've dealt with them. It's the same thing in society in every level you could think of. Like, you're working your ass off like a proper whore, and you're dedicated like a whore, and everybody else is dedicated like a whore, and you decide that you want to raise yourself up to Mac, hustler, or pimp level. What do you think the other whores would say to you? Who you think you are? Why? And look at bitches, the way they compete. And online, you can see it now even better than in person. You don't have to be in the hood like we were. You can see it everywhere now. It's everywhere. Look, who you think you are? They're gonna attack. They're gonna slander. Until you get to a certain power level, then it's gonna become strange to you, because here's the thing. The person, the pimps, the macs, the kings, the rulers, whatever title you want to play on it, in this hierarchy that is naturally in itself placed in it, it's just part of existence. You'll notice that the ones in power do have morals, do have understanding, but with that understanding, they understand that a lot of people operate on animalistic or below animalistic levels. Yes, they understand people have feelings. Clearly, they're people too. But you're like, oh, why don't you care for us? You don't give a shit about other people. You only care about yourself, and you're selfish, and you're greedy. And then if you put a camera and a spy cam and a drone on that person, that same person that made that comment, you'll watch them try to kill somebody in public in traffic while driving crazy. You watch them drive by a person that's in need. You'll watch them be selfish when a person that's below them asks them for $1 so they can get food to eat. You'll watch that same fucking person that complains about a fucking better life. You'll watch it. You don't have to be lower class. You can be middle class. You'll watch people below you do these things and talk about them, but you won't give out game. You won't give them assistance. You won't give your employees raises, and then you'll complain about how you're getting raked over the coals, or you're complaining how the government allows your wife to rake you over the coals, and it goes up and up the ladder. But the scale works both ways. Climbing up, you'll have a little bit of resistance on the internal, and pulling from the down, you're going to have that resistance from the external, where society refuses to gain wisdom and knowledge and understanding because it hates it. And by proxy, if you use it and embody it, it'll hate you. But it also is the source of all things. It's like you're killing an antelope. And they're like, people are, damn, you killing an antelope? You hate antelope. No, nigga, I'm eating. I'm eating. That's it. Nothing. I love antelope. It's delicious. What you mean? I love that shit. Like, oh, you're a fucking terrible person. How could you? It's like, what? What you want me to do? You just need to be an antelope. I'm just gonna eat you. You're a pain in my ass. You're a poisonous antelope. There's destructive whores. There's destructive bitches. There's antelopes that lead you to water when you're thirsty and you don't eat. You know what I mean? There's situations that favor wisdom and the situations that don't. But all throughout history, the few always ruled over the many. Even when, and the foolish always think numbers are the key to winning. When the history shows that's never the case. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep on taking advice from people that lose spiritually, internally, physically, and financially, mentally, socially? You want bitches? Go study pickup game. It depends on what you want. Better bitches? You want actually wife or concubine material? Study God's Bible, His Word. Study standards. It depends on what power level you want to stand at and where you actually stand at. There's many levels. You want power? Study how these motherfuckers really get down. Yes, it's grimy. You're in the grimy ass world. It can get worse. It can get way worse. So trust me, there's better. And actually, oh my God, my watch is tripping. Actually, there's a whole naivety to many people's existence. It gets way worse, even just looking in law. Trump and Elon right now are wiping that shit out as we speak, as I'm approaching it to clear up my shit. Many people are subjected to things that they don't have to, and I'm not here to wake y'all up, and or scare anybody off. Anytime I speak about, I notice in real life, I speak about things of law, they're like, man, like niggas are, see, this is all, look, whenever you break out of a paradigm the Matrix has, the Matrix, they can't tell you shit. They're like, ugh, I hate this nigga. But that's the energy you'll get from them. Like, man, I work all this hard time, and I get this, and then I gotta pay this much in taxes. And they look at me, and we're all in the circle where I ain't paying taxes. Y'all are stupid. And they're like, nigga, what? I'm like, yeah, y'all dumb as fuck. And then I'm like, what? You gonna get in trouble, nigga? Your master gonna fuck you in the butt. I'm like, you stupid ass nigga. And I break it down. I check them, and I'm like, boom, 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 boom. Here's the laws. Here's the links. Here's how you do it. There's multiple ways to do it. And guess what? Even Trump told you how to do this the proper way. And not only that, we're in 2025 right now. And I guarantee those niggas are so goddamn NPC, they'll never remember that I told all these niggas prior to this. But it doesn't matter. He's like, he's going to do it for you because he knows how dumb y'all are and lazy y'all are and scared y'all are. And still, in this day, majority of America, not majority, but a mass amount, are fighting against him while he's fixing it. It's like, you hate the ones that are trying to help you. You see, this is the Matrix. People hate the ones that will help them survive, live, and become better. And they glorify the ones that step on their neck. Pimps understand this. I'm gonna leave that there. God knows who you are. God knows who you are. But do you? Fuck what they talking about. Do you? Like and subscribe.